Welcome back to the Secrets to Alignment podcast with your host, Savannah Schaffer. Oh my gosh. Okay, first and foremost, if you're watching the video of this, we are upgrading so much right now. First of all, this is the first time that I am filming a podcast in our brand new home. And I just need to give a little update about that really quick before we get into this episode, because this home that I am in right now, oh my gosh, it feels so good to have landed here. Ty and I decided to build our home together about a year ago. And it was something that when he came to me with the idea, I told him, I really don't think that the time is right. I don't think that we should do this. I was like, we can absolutely stay in our current house for a couple more years. And after more conversations and him just, being totally obsessed with new things and wanting to expand. He always loves to upgrade things. He wants us to have more space. He wants us to have, the ability to have another child if we desire one. And when he talked to me about getting this house, I just thought that that would be a decision that would be such a huge stretch for where we were at in that moment in time. And it really was. Like, honestly, so much has changed in the last year, in the last even 6 months. And when I finally looked at this model of the home that we are currently in, I walked into it and I was like, okay, like I could actually see our family here and I could see us building a life here. And I got honestly really excited and just allowed myself to let go of the fear of what if this doesn't work out. And there was a lot coming up for me when we were thinking about moving into this house, as we were preparing for it. Like, I had so much fear coming up throughout this process, just being completely honest. This is something that Ty and I both couldn't do without each other. So without both of our careers, thriving, we wouldn't be able to make this happen. And I feel as though as soon as I experienced those fears and those doubts kind of coming up, I went ahead and cleared them. I went to my journal. I went to go have conversations with the people who I know are here to guide me. And as I talked through what was coming up, and as I discovered throughout just my own self-inquiry, I realized that fear was really the biggest thing that was holding us back from making this huge life decision. And I didn't want that to be my reality. I wanted to fall into an abundance mindset, to trust fully, to surrender and know that we are going to be provided for. And once I made that decision internally, and I can feel even my throat chakra right now getting like a little tense because I'm opening up, and this is very vulnerable. And I haven't shared this with anyone besides like my absolute best friend, or maybe like 2 friends. So this is a lot for me to just be sharing so publicly. But I am being transparent because, number one, I'm always transparent. But number 2, I know that if I'm going through this, I know that you guys are too. When you are being expanded and stretched and you're taking on new investments or new responsibilities, new career changes or whatever, that unknown can feel it feels almost like you know what's going to happen. You automatically are thinking about the negatives and about all of the ways that it could go wrong. And if you don't catch yourself, that can spiral into actually creating that reality. And I decided when those things were coming up for me, I want to face these. I want to sit in them. I want to see, okay, I'm worried about this, but what is the worry beneath that? What is the fear really here? And what was coming up for me really prevalently is that I was scared that the past was going to repeat itself. And that is the point. Once I nailed that, once I found that that was the thing that was holding me back, that's when I decided to actually turn inwards, give myself what I needed to understand that the past is not going to repeat itself. I am not the past version of myself. I am not the past version of my parents. I am me as I am today, being the present person here and now with my new beliefs, with my new experiences, with my new knowledge, and I get to choose from this point going forward how I feel about this decision. And I feel as though the more that I decided to fall into trust, the more that I decided to lean in, the more that I decided to actually give myself what I needed when those fears were coming up, that is where so many things really started working out for me. In the later parts of last year, of like the end of 2025, I had this huge identity upgrade. It's the only way I can explain it. I went through a series of events that just showed me who the fuck I am. And I've done so much inner work. I've been telling myself all of this time for years and years, this is who I am. This is who I am. This is the new identity that I'm stepping into. But sometimes it actually needs to, things in your physical reality also need to confirm that within you. And those I call signs and synchronicities, the things that show me that I'm on the right path, that I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. And the more that I started to just fall in love with that and trust in those signs, trust in those feelings that I was experiencing of, I know I have fucking got this. I know that I am supported. And I got to this place in the end of December of just full trust. The doubts went away. The worries went away. And I don't think that would have been possible if I didn't take the time to actually process what was coming up for me. Buying this new home and also going all in with Ty. You guys, if you know anything about my story with Ty, I met him at the gym. A year later, we got pregnant. And 2 weeks before we found out we were pregnant, we decided to move in with each other. As we were moving all of my stuff is when we found out that I was pregnant, because we took a little bit of time. This entire journey with Ty was completely unplanned. I did not think we were going to, honestly, I didn't think that we were going to be in a long-term relationship. That was not where my head was at going into this relationship, this experience with this man that I met at the fucking gym that was 11 and a half years older than me, 12 years older than me. That was not at all a thought in my mind. I was just like, how can I show up as the most confident, secure person possible to show this man that I am mature enough to woo him? That was really where my head was at. And then he just started to fall in love with me, and he's totally obsessed, and we're obsessed with each other, and you know the whole story. But those things were not planned. So for me to decide to go all in on this house with him, that was a decision that I had to make. Getting pregnant with him was not really a decision that I feel like I made. It was just kind of what happened. So this was so illuminating in many different ways. It brought me to my point of expansion. This really has felt like the most expansive experience of my life, deciding to move into a new home with him, deciding to build this new home, being in a place in our relationship where we're just so extremely supportive of one another and we're there for each other. It's just beautiful. So not only has the universe come through and supported us throughout this entire journey and just really shown me that I am exactly where I'm meant to be. I am meant to be doing this. I am meant to be in this place, even when the fears are coming up. It just feels really, really good to actually be here and to be settled. And I'm sure that some of you guys will resonate with that. Some of that was just, I asked the universe what needs to come through before every single episode, and that's what chose to come through. I was not even planning on talking about the house, but as I'm looking at this background, I'm just like, holy fucking shit. We are in our new house. This is crazy. I'm getting emotional even as I think about this. It's just really, really huge for us, and it's really huge for me. For me, being a 25-year-old woman who has a business that supports her enough to buy a home that is her dream home, that is just something that I always saw happening for myself. I always planned on that happening, but to be in it is just wild. I don't want to say I never expected this, because quite frankly, I did. Quite frankly, I had all of these goals kind of set as a young girl, several years ago. And when I discovered how to create my reality, that's when I really started thinking of the future. I've been thinking about the day that I turned 25 for the last 8 8 years or so. Like I've been thinking about this day for so long because I realized that I actually have a lot of control over my life and the life that unfolds in front of me if I decide to take control. So having this home, it really showed me how much manifestation truly works. I have had many things show me that manifestation has really created my entire life. And I want to be very, very clear about my own definition of manifestation because I am not a person who says, oh yeah, like just say you're going to be a millionaire and sit on the couch all day and like binge watch Netflix. That's not the way to become a millionaire, okay? I am somebody who decides what I want. I remove any fears or blockages around getting what I want. And then I continue to take consistent, aligned action. And this is what I teach every single woman inside my programs, inside Tranquil Minds, and inside my one-to-one. Because when you have these 3 things, you are able to create the life of your dreams. In 2019, I was living at home in my parents' house, and that is when I discovered the world of manifestation and the law of attraction. And it truly opened my eyes up to so much. I realized the first thing that I was introduced to was The Secret. And then from there, I just decided to, deep dive into this world and realize that I actually have a lot more control than I ever thought that I did. I think that we are raised to think that all of these things are happening to us. We become a victim a lot of the times. And I am someone who is a fucking victor. I am going to figure out whatever it is that I need to do so that I can win, so that I can become the highest, most expansive, best level version of myself. Like that is really who I am. I will always decide to go to the next level. I will always decide to improve. I am somebody who enjoys that. I enjoy learning about myself. I enjoy learning about how I can grow and expand and live my life more freely. To me, the more that I grow and expand in my belief systems and the way that I'm showing up on a daily basis and the desires that I have, expanding my vision, I get to experience more of life. I get to have more freedom. I get to have more fulfillment. I get to have more purpose. I get to impact more people's lives. So I'm always committed to this. Back in 2019, when I first started listening to podcasts, I decided back then that I was going to have my own podcast. I decided back then that I was going to be speaking on stages one day. I decided that I was going to have my own apartment. I was going to get specific cars that I've had. I decided so much. And I journaled about all of these things in clear detail. And every single time a fear came up, I knew exactly what I needed to do to release that so that it no longer had a hold on me. And that's the part that can be really, really challenging because a lot of times we have this hidden advantage. We don't even know what is holding us back. It's just quietly whispering things in our ears, or it's maybe you self-sabotaging, or it's maybe you not being as productive as you need to when you know you need to be. Maybe it's you holding yourself back and dimming your light. Maybe it's you not showing up as the most authentic version of yourself. Maybe you find yourself shutting down and being more quiet and just minimizing yourself. Whatever it is that's holding you back right now, if you do not actually get to the root of it, you're never going to release it. You have to figure out, why does your body feel safer in this experience? Why does your body feel safer in the comfort? And really, that's the answer. Your body just feels safer in the comfort. Why does your body feel safer not accomplishing your dreams is really the question. What is the fear driving these actions? If you were to hold yourself back, what wouldn't change? What is your brain scared of changing in your life? There's a reason why you're stuck. And it's not because you're lazy. That's just symptoms. Those are symptoms to a real problem, a real cause. So the clearer that you get, the easier you're going to be able to manifest the life that you desire. You're always manifesting things. Manifestation doesn't just turn off, okay? It's not something that you can just flip a switch on. Every single action, every single decision, every single time that you decide to go to some place or somewhere or talk to someone a specific way, all of that is manifesting the person that you are becoming. And you have to be very conscious and cautious of the actions that you take on a daily basis, on the thoughts that pass through your head on a daily basis. Because if you're not taking control, it's taking control over you. This is why it's so important to set intentions, to have these goals or to have these desires written out and actually thought through. Just directing your intention alone can have an impact on the outcome. And that's not woo-woo. That is what science proves over and over and over again. If the scientist that is creating the experiment has an intention of the result that it desires, then that is more likely to come about, which is so crazy. So to make things really simple, all you have to focus on is you doing those three things: having a clear vision, removing any blockages that are keeping you from achieving that, and then actually showing up, taking the actions consistently. And once you have the first two, the third one actually becomes a lot easier than you think. And this is something that I am actually going to be giving a full-on in-depth class about, a free masterclass on July 2nd. If you're listening to this right now, I want you to click the link down below to register, or you can go ahead and message me on Instagram, the number 72, and I will give you all of the information on how to join us, because this class is going to show you how you can actually make manifestation work for you. And when you figure out how to make manifestation work for you, that is when you start to achieve every single thing in your life that you desire. The things that I wanted the most was a clear fucking head. I wanted a clear head. I didn't want to be overthinking anymore. I didn't want to be overanalyzing. I wanted to trust myself. I wanted to make decisions with confidence, with conviction. I wanted to show up as the most confident and worthy version of myself. I really wanted to feel worthy of all of the things that I desired, because I knew deep down I wanted them, but there was a part of me that would kind of hold myself back and think, am I really worthy of that? What about what happened to my parents? Or what about what happened to that person that I know? And I would continuously ruminate on these things. So something I really was longing for was this clear mind. I wanted a really good connection with the universe. That was something that was huge for me. I wanted to feel like I was supported, because I didn't feel that. I did not have that trust. I did not have the trust and the support that I have today. I wanted to have a podcast. I wanted to make this podcast. I wanted to have loving friendships. I wanted to have an incredibly supportive partner. Guys, I could find my journal right now, and I literally have photos of it in my phone because I sent it to Ty. I have written out the qualities that Ty has had years and years and years before I even met him. That was it was written in the stars because I fucking wrote it in the stars, okay? Like, those are the things that are possible for you to achieve when you have a clear intention, a clear vision, and nothing is holding you back any longer. You can really manifest everything that you ever wanted. And I look at manifestation as a co-creation. It is me and the universe. It is the universe and I. So it is me doing what I can here in the physical, the 3D world, and then the universe also supporting me throughout the entire journey and leading me to the people, the places, and the things that are also going to support me. And I really do believe in the psychological, physiological experience that we are having in our brains that also allow us to get to the places that we want to go. So it's something I'm always teaching as well, is the science, the neuroplasticity, the neuroscience behind all of these things. Because that is the biological, physiological, psychological changes that happen in our brain to make manifestation so much easier. And that is something that I deep dive in all of my programs, because I want to make sure that every single person knows how to utilize this tool that's basically already happening in their life, but they're just not using it intentionally. So getting really, really clear on what you want is the first step. Knowing exactly what you want, knowing how that's going to change your life. How is it going to upgrade you as a person? How is it going to impact the people around you? What is it going to feel like when you're in that experience? And then as you're actually thinking through all the things that you desire, you're probably going to gain some clarity on the internal dialogue that's going on of whether or not you believe you can have that. You will start to notice those thoughts that are maybe a little bit more limiting, that feel a little bit more constricting, that make you doubt or question yourself or wonder, can that really happen for me? And those experiences right there are the ones that you need to stop, pause, and start to dive into a little bit deeper so that you can gain so much clarity on what's actually holding you back and clear that shit out. Inside Tranquil Minds, that is what I hold your hand through. I make sure that I am opening up the calls to ask you what is actually holding you back, to get rid of any of those blockages that are keeping you stuck and stagnant. Because sometimes we don't even realize what's holding us back. It's really challenging to have a bird's eye view of ourselves, of our own psyche, of our own experience that we are having. And so having someone there to point out the blind spots, or being in a really incredible fucking badass community like Tranquil Minds, where someone else says, oh my gosh, I just realized this was holding me back. And now that aha moment for them becomes your aha moment. Those experiences, like, oh my gosh, they're fucking priceless. They're incredible. And what's crazy is Tranquil Minds is literally $44 to join, guys. It's $44 a month. That's it. Very, very reasonable to make all of your dreams come true and actually start taking action, actually get out of that stuck mentality. It changes your life. And if you don't want to invest right now while you're listening to this, come to the free masterclass, because I'm going to break everything down so deeply. Like, I don't want to waste anyone's time. I'm never there to waste anyone's time. I'm going to give you exactly what you need to know. Everything that you need to know so that you can start manifesting the life of your desires, because that's exactly what I have done. And I'd be doing every single person a disservice if I did not share that with everyone else. So like I said, step 1, clarifying, getting clear on the visions that you have. Step 2, diving deep into any of those limiting beliefs that come up for you, really gaining so much clarity on what is keeping you there, what is holding you down, what are the weights attached to your ankles, like what is keeping you in that spot, what is making you feel like you're standing in quicksand. That needs to be clarified and cleared the fuck out and replaced with new beliefs that actually support you. And those are going to take some time to really integrate and to ground into you. This is not an overnight fix. This is not a, oh my gosh, my entire life has changed in X amount of time. Like, no, like it's not an overnight thing. It takes years. It takes consistency. It takes showing up. It takes making those decisions that are in alignment with your future self. And that is the third part of this, is taking aligned, consistent action. You cannot get to the places that you want to go without taking action to get there. And what's cool is that with manifestation, when you start to change the way that your brain is viewing your reality, you actually utilize neuroscience in your favor, and you start to learn how neuroplasticity actually works, how you can start to change your perspective so that it actually is highlighting the things that are all going right in your life. You're literally changing the way that your brain is wired through neuroplasticity. And that's exactly what I teach everyone to do in my world, because it's changed my life. So taking aligned, consistent action, it actually ends up becoming a really easy part of the process, because there's no longer this internal dialogue that's holding you back. There's no longer this inside like fight that's happening. It's just like, yeah, this is who I am and this is what I do. And you are embodying that version of yourself. You're showing up as her already. And when you are showing up in that frequency, when you're showing up as the version of you who already has it all, that is where you start to change the way that you are experiencing the life around you and how the universe responds to you. You no longer are responding to everything else around you. Instead, the universe responds to you. And that's exactly the trick of all of this. We want to become so clear. We want to become a clear channel. We want to become so peaceful and mindful and present so that when we do place our intention, it's not being attacked by all of these beliefs that are actually not in alignment, or all of these actions that are not in alignment with it. consistency actually becomes so much easier once you go through this process and you start to recognize these things and release these things that are holding you back. Once you handle the internal dialogue, the internal experience that you're having, the reason why you're holding yourself back, once you handle all of that, that is where your external is going to start to shift before your eyes. And yes, it will be scary. Yes, there will be moments where you are absolutely full of fear and doubt and worry. But now you're going to have the tools to work through those things. Now you're going to know exactly what you need to do to get onto the other side of it. If this is resonating with you right now and you feel like you are ready to go to that next level, you're ready to create the life of your dreams, I want you to message me on Instagram, the number 72, or click the link down below so that you can register for the free masterclass coming up on July 2nd. If you're not able to make it live, do not worry. It is always recorded for you. I will send out the recording. Just make sure that you register so that you get the recording. And if you have any questions in the meantime, I am here for you. I'm so excited to pour into you guys. I've had so many people ask me about the life that I've created, and this really is me giving you the secret recipe. And I truly want to just share this with you because it's made such a huge difference in my life. So if you need anything from me, go ahead and send me a message. I'm here for you. I got you always. I've always got your back. I am so excited to hang out with you on July 2nd, and I will see you guys in the next episode.